A cell site, cell tower, or cellular base station is a cellular-enabled mobile device site where antennas and electronic communications equipment are placed, typically on a radio mast, tower, or other raised structure, to create a cell in a cellular network. The raised structure typically supports antenna and one or more sets of transmitter, receivers, transceivers, digital signal processors, control electronics, a GPS receiver for timing, primary and backup electrical power sources, and sheltering, in global system for mobile communications. Some cities require that cell sites be inconspicuous. They can be blended with the surrounding area or mounted on buildings or advertising towers. Preserved treescapes can often hide cell towers inside an artificial or preserved tree. These installations are generally referred to as concealed cell sites or stealth cell sites. A cellular network is a network of handheld mobile phones in which each phone communicates with a telephone network by radio waves through a local antenna at a cellular base station. The coverage area in which service is provided is divided into a mosaic of small geographical areas, called cells, each served by a separate low-power multi-channel transceiver and antenna at a base station. All the cell phones within a cell communicate with the system through that cell's antenna, on separate frequency channels assigned by the base station from a common pool of frequencies used by the system. The purpose of cellular organization is to conserve radio bandwidth by frequency reuse. The low-power radio signals used within each cell do not travel far beyond the cell, so the radio channels can be reused in geographically separated cells. When a mobile user moves from one cell to another, their phone is automatically handed off to the new cell's antenna and assigned a new set of frequencies, and subsequently communicates with this antenna. This background handoff process is imperceptible to the user and can occur in the middle of a phone call without any service interruption. Each cell phone has an automated full duplex digital transceiver and communicates with the cell antenna over two digital radio channels in the UHF or microwave band, one for each direction of the bidirectional conversation, plus a control channel which handles registering the phone with the network, dialing, and the handoff process. Typically, a cell tower is located at the edge of one or more cells and covers multiple cells using directional antennas. A common geometry is to locate the cell site at the intersection of three adjacent cells, with three antennas at 120 degrees angles each covering one cell. The type of antenna used for cellular base stations, called a sector antenna, usually consists of a vertical collinear array of dipoles. It has a flat fan-shaped radiation pattern, which is tilted slightly down to cover the cell area without radiating at higher angles into further off cells which reuse the same frequencies. The elevation angle of the antenna must be carefully adjusted, so the beam covers the entire cell without radiating too far. In modern sector antennas, beam tilt can usually be adjusted electronically, to avoid the necessity of a lineman climbing the tower to mechanically tilt the antenna when adjustment is needed. Cell site atop a lookout tower. Cell tower of Deutsche Telekom atop a building in Karlsruhe, Germany. Elkhorn cell tower, Panoramio indoor cell site of Deutsche Telekom in Germany. A short mast cell site atop a mountain in Wyoming, USA. Antennas atop a concrete plant in Germany. An antenna array atop an electricity pylon. A mobile phone tower in Kangaroo Point, Queensland, painted to resemble an Aboriginal talking stick. This 100 feet tall cross at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Lake Worth, Florida conceals equipment for T-Mobile US. Cell site placed atop an existing building. A standard American cell tower in Gainesville, Virginia. A cell tower carrying antennas of two cellular networks in Richmond Hill, Ontario. The working range of a cell site is not a fixed figure. It will depend on a number of factors, including, but not limited to, generally, in areas where there are enough cell sites to cover a wide area, the range of each one will be set to. In practice, cell sites are grouped in areas of high population density, with the most potential users. Cell phone traffic through a single site is limited by the base station's capacity. There is a finite number of calls or data traffic that a base station can handle at once. This capacity limitation is commonly the factor that determines the spacing of cell mast sites. In suburban areas, masts are commonly spaced 1 to 2 miles apart, and in dense urban areas, masts may be as close as 1/4 to 1/2 mile apart. The maximum range of a mast to 8 kilometers, which is imposed by technical limitations. CDMA and IDEN have no such limit defined by timing. The concept of maximum range is misleading in a cellular network. Cellular networks are